Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. I'm about ready to head out here and check out the new crime thriller, Emily the Criminal. Emily the Criminal is starring Aubrey Plaza and Theo Rossi, and it tells the story of a woman who's kind of at her wits' end debt-wise. She's in over her head and she just can't make enough money to make ends meet. And she also just wants enough money to really just live life and enjoy things. The problem she has is, in her past, she did something that wasn't quite legal, which has led her to some difficulty finding a job in the present. Okay, so what do you do when you have a difficult time finding a good, decent job? You turn to a life of crime. Starts off innocent enough. Aubrey Plaza's character just tries out some small-time stuff, and then, of course, as things do, it escalates. And the film looks like it goes into full-on, Breaking Bad territory. And I really dig movies like this, that they're like a normal person who just gets in over their head. But much like Breaking Bad, in the trailer of this film, it looks like Aubrey Plaza's character does start to kind of enjoy the criminal lifestyle as the film progresses. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, also too, this film is directed by John Patton Ford and written by John Patton Ford. It seems to be the first film that he has directed, so I'm looking forward to see what this new filmmaker has in store for us. Alright, enough of me talking about this, guys. Let's get out there and check out Emily the Criminal. Welcome back. We're just getting home from seeing Emily the Criminal, and wow, that film is intense. It really keeps you on the edge of your seat almost from the beginning of the movie to the end. Definitely, it is not necessarily that the beginning of it is slow. It takes a little while to kind of set the scene, but this movie isn't long. It's only about an hour and 37 minutes long, and it wraps everything up in a nice, tight little package. Let me tell you, folks, this film keeps you guessing up till the very end. You are sweating bullets like none other. So, as I was saying in the intro of this film centers around a woman who's played by Aubrey Plaza, and she has a lot of student debt. And, a lot of debt, but it mostly focuses on her student debt. And she's trying, she's working as a caterer, she's trying to get better jobs, but unfortunately she can't find any because she has a small infraction with the law in her past. She is a convicted felon, but, it's not necessarily that big of a deal. And there's a little bit of a thing in it, there's an underlying kind of theme in the film, like once you're labeled a criminal, you will always be considered a criminal no matter what it is. If you get pulled over for a DUI or anything small, you when you were a kid, you're 18 years old, you're working at a place and you think, working at the local fast food joint, and you're like sticking it to the boss, and you take a $20 bill, and you're branded for the rest of your life as a thief for just making a really stupid mistake. And the film really dives into those kind of ideas. Now, the performances in this film are also, they're great. They're really good. I will not be surprised if I see Aubrey Plaza getting some kind of acknowledgement for this film. I'm not saying Oscar or whatever, but I'm serious, guys. She is amazing. She really, really leads the cast in this film. She is the main character, and her performance is outstanding. I was not expecting this good of a, performance out of her with so much comedy experience. And I don't mean that in a mean way. And this is something that I've always found interesting about actors who are really good at comedy. Someone who's really good at making people laugh also have a really strange power of also being able to just like rip your heart out and just surprise you. This film was really surprising. Again, I keep saying that, but this film really surprised me when it came to her. It really reminded me of when I went and saw, what was that? Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. I was blown away by Adam Sandler in that film, and this is very similar to that. Now, her co-star in the film, Theo Rossi, also does an outstanding job. He plays the man who kind of gets her involved into the criminal underbelly world. And what's crazy is, he's like a super likable guy. Like, this guy has dreams and ambitions. He truly wants to, have that American dream. He doesn't really want to be a criminal. He wants to move out of that lifestyle. And it really grounds the character, and because you get on his side, it makes it a lot easier down the road when we get more into the criminal aspect of things. And when the movie takes off, guys, it is a roller coaster ride till the very end. You just sit there and you're just biting your nails like crazy. This film really had me guessing. I didn't know how it was going to end. The ending of the film is pretty good for what it is, and it works. It's normally in movies like this, it's really hard to wrap things up when everything has been just built around so much tension, and when it finally releases, you really got to have a good payoff. Now, this movie has a very realistic payoff in the end, and I like that because the film is extremely grounded in reality. It doesn't try to get too overwhelming. There is a little bit of action in the film. There is a chase scene, and what I would like to say, it's like the most realistic car chase scene I have ever seen in a film. So the movie is a little bit low action, but it still keeps you going. I mean, you are thoroughly entertained from beginning to end. And even though this is one of those little art house independent films, it really feels like a movie that could do really well in the mainstream. I think once audiences see this movie, they're going to love this movie. And it has great potential of being a summertime sleeper hit, and I really hope it pulls it off because it's been a while since we've had one of those little bitty movies that do really good. And I'm not talking about a horror movie, but like something like this, like, a really grounded in reality kind of film that gets you behind its characters. All right, guys, well, that's all I have. Oh, I almost forgot. Nowadays, I have to do the rating. Okay, so let's do it. Let's put a big old letter on this. And you know what I have to say, guys? This is a solid A. And the reason why I'm giving it an A, and it's a personal choice, okay? Most of you probably won't even care. The film is filmed in such a way where things are very close up on people's faces. The film is mostly done in close-ups or with a handheld cam. And I get it, it works great for showing action and high pace and stuff like that. And I'm not talking shaky cam or like found footage kind of shaky cam. I mean just like a handheld cam. It wasn't on a tripod or something necessarily. So it kind of floats a little bit. And that's cool because it gives the film a little bit of a living, breathing kind of movement to it. But unfortunately for me, I'm not a big fan of the real close-up kind of cinema. It makes me feel a little like claustrophobic, like I just want them to open it up a little bit. But that's not a bad thing. So if my only complaint really is just a personal choice, check this film out, guys. It really is an awesome, awesome movie. Great casting, just great acting, good solid story. This is directed and written by John Patton Ford, and he does a great job. This film is fantastic. It's well directed. It's well done. Everything about this movie is just mwah. I loved it. It just wish we would have opened up the camera a little bit, shown a little bit more about what was going on around the people. But again, that's a personal choice. All right, So that brings us to the end of another Film Geek video. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you could do, folks, that is get out there and support small independent theater, or well, theaters too, but movies. Check these little movies out. Don't always just spend all your money on the big CGI fest. So anyways, guys, if there is one more thing you can do, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.